Welcome back to another episode of the Todd Durkin Impact Show. And I am so fired up today for a huge announcement. I hope you are excited as well. If you're working out, buckle up your bootstraps. This one is going to be historic. It's going to be iconic. And I couldn't be more excited to share the news with you. Recently, I shared that I had 3 big announcements, like really big announcements. And today I'm going to reveal the second of my big 3 announcements. Recently, just a few weeks ago, I shared my first big announcement was that I have a huge live event called the Todd Durkin Impact Summit in Los Angeles, California in July. I'm requesting your presence there, as it's going to be one of the most powerful live events I've ever done. You can mark my word on that. We've got 12 speakers in addition to me. We've got a ton of features and many things that are going to benefit you, but you got to be in the room. I'm just going to say, go over to toddurkin.com, sign up today. There's early bird specials till May 15th. Don't delay, be in the room. That was announcement number 1, is the Impact Summit is it's coming in July, and don't miss it. But today is all about announcement number 2, and I've got 3 big ones, but number 2 is big, like something really, really big. And I'm just going to dive in today and share the news with you, because my second announcement is completely different. All 3 announcements are mutually exclusive. And this one deals with, it deals with about 3.5 years of hell, of going through an extremely challenging time and tough time. And about 9 months ago, I made a decision to share it all, everything. And what I'm about to share is going to shock the heck out of you. And instead of just sharing it here on the pod, which I love you all, I decided over the last 6 months to write a book. And the book is a culmination of those 3.5 years. Some I've already shared on the podcast, but this is a tell-all book, or a memoir, if you will. And it's a book that I've been working on intensely for 6 months now, and it's deep, like deeper than anything I've ever written, let alone shared. And while the book is not officially coming out until June, I want to do 3 things today. Woo! Number 1, I want to share a snippet of the book with you. I want to share that snippet with you, and I'm going to share it at the end of the show. That's going to rock your world, and it's going to be the prelude, a little bit of the introduction, that if you listen to a few minutes of this, you're going to be like, whoa, TD, I didn't know that. That's why I'm sharing it with you today in advance of the book coming out. It's not even available yet, but it will be available in just a matter of several weeks. Number 2, I want to share my goals. I've got huge goals and visions with this book and what it's going to do. And 3, I want to share with you that I have a book launch team forming right now. And I want to invite you, my dear podcast listeners, to be part of the launch team. And if you'd like to be part of the launch team, I'm going to provide all of the ways that you can do that here on today's show. If you want to be on my inner team, on the launch team, today, for the first time ever, you're hearing officially all about the True Strength book, and I couldn't be more excited. Now, that being said, I'll share just a few things on the book, but then I want to turn it. I want to turn it all to you about like 5 ways to get more momentum in your life. Regardless of what the project is, I want to just glean some of the wisdom I've been pouring into the last 6 months while writing the book that I believe will benefit you and provide great value to you on the 5 ways to get more momentum in your life. So I'm fired up. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm ready for you to learn more about True Strength and what it is, and hear how I think it's going to help impact the world and how I think it's going to impact you. And without further ado, let's dive in to True Strength, the book, right now. And I've been sharing that I've been working on this intensely for 6 months, kind of undercover. And it's been one of those passion projects late at night on the weekends. And it's deeper than anything I've ever written or shared, as I just mentioned. My co-author, Clay Manley, as he's working on this, We recently came up with a snippet that he came up with. And let me give you the overview. After 3 decades of helping others achieve peak performance, Todd Durkin hit rock bottom. In his raw and riveting first ever memoir, Todd reveals how he secretly tumbled into the darkest valley of his life, blindsided by years of mental anguish, relentless soul searching, and debilitating physical pain. Part memoir, part personal development guide, True Strength describes how he found purpose in pain, faith in failure, and growth in gut wrenching challenges, and how you can too. Packed with profound insights, hard won wisdom, and a gripping narrative, True Strength is an emotionally charged tale of transformation and resilience that will serve as a beacon of hope to propel you through any valley by helping you find, forge, and foster your own true strength. That is True Strength, my friends. And while the book is not officially coming out until June, and I'll let you know the exact dates here real soon, I want to do 3 things today. I do want to share that snippet with you, and you can hang into the very, very end of today's episode, and I'll share that with you. The second aspect I shared is that I want to share my goals of the book with you. And I've got 5 big goals of True Strength, and here they are. Number 1, I want to change a lot of lives with this book. My vision has only expanded since December when I shared in my God-sized dreams planner. I shared many of my answers with you, but my vision has expanded in the 6 months or so alone since that. I used to say I want to reach 10 million people through my impact endeavors. Well, now with this book, True Strength, and the initiatives that I'm under and the team at TDE is under, now it's 100 million. Yep, we've 10x'd our mission and our vision to now change a lot more lives, like 100 million. That's number 1. Number 2 is my goal with this book specifically is to sell 10,000 copies of this book between launch day, which will be mid-June, and December 31st, 2024. So in about a 6-7 month period, I want to sell 10,000 copies of the book. Now you might be like, well, that's a lot. Or, well, that's not very many. Just so you know, with Get Your Mind Right, when I said how many to the publisher at the time, how many books is a good number of books? They said, well, if you sell 5,000 copies, that's a good run. I'm like, 5,000 copies, that shouldn't be too hard. Well, it's one thing to say you want to buy the book. It's another thing to actually buy the book. So my goal is to sell 10,000 copies of the book. Why? Because I know if you read the book, your life will change. Your life will be different. Or you're going to gift the book to someone who needs it as much or more than yourself. So that's my goal personally with the book, because I know the book is going to change a lot of lives. The third of my 5 goals is this. I want to give money back to help mental health organizations and suicide prevention. And you may ask, how are we going to do this? A portion of the book proceeds are going to go to my Impact Foundation, where 100% of all proceeds to the Impact Foundation between launch day, mid-June, and December 31st, all go back to those initiatives, 100%. My hope, therefore, is that between the book and any donations that people make, that we can raise $100,000 for suicide prevention and mental health. That, my friends, fires me up. That is why we're writing the book, to give back to suicide prevention and mental health. Number 4, that we can go on at least one of the big morning shows and talk about the book, True Strength, and about the Impact Foundation initiatives and what we're doing with mental health and suicide prevention. This would be shows like the Today Show or Good Morning America or Kelly and Mark, or a show to that level, heck, perhaps all of them. So please, podcast listeners, if you know someone that can help us, now would be the time for a great introduction. Please let us know how we can help others prevent suicide and help with mental health. And lastly, number 5, goals for the book, because it's all about helping impact more. It's to go on to 10 other big podcasts, or at least 3. Let's get 10. Let's make the goal 10 to be on a guest on their show to help get the word out. I so appreciate you listening to the Todd Durkin Impact Show. My hope is I can go on other people's shows like Ed Milet, and I love Ed's show, or the Megyn Kelly show, or heck, the show everyone wants to go on, Joe Rogan, but a big show. So if you know someone who knows someone who knows someone, my intention is set. It's all about true strength. It's all about mental health, suicide prevention, and giving back. And I do believe the past 3.5 years of going through a deep, deep, deep valley is going to say, wow, TD, I didn't know. Yep, I'm sharing it all in true strength. The third aspect here of my overall mission of True Strength is we do have a book launch team forming right now. And I invite you to be part of that. So please, if you would like to go deeper with me on my team, be part of the book launch team. Whether you have a big following or you don't have a big following, I would love for you to be part of it. Now, here's what you need to do if you want to be part of the book launch team. Simply go over to my website, todddurkin.com, click on the link for the True Strength book launch team, and get all the details and sign up. There's no cost to be part of it. I'm going to provide a ton of value for you. And yes, you will get an early read prior to the mid-June launch of True Strength if you're part of the True Strength book launch team. So please hop over there, be part of the True Strength book launch team on any level. Maybe you want to read it. You're going to read it in advance. And yes, I will eventually have it on audio, but not in the beginning. Not when I launch it in June. It will be on audio. But you're going to want to be on the book launch team. So if you want to be on the book launch team, again, you got to sign up though. You got to sign up, and you're going to have till mid-May. So you got to take action like this week. Take action, hop over there, simply sign up, and my team and I will get back to you with just a matter of days, if not hours, on that. So I'll say this, I would love to have you. The launch team will help evangelize True Strength, and I have some awesome value and giveaways and unique offerings to the True Strength launch team. So we're getting going with the launch team by May 15th, again, by May 15th. And lastly, whether you're on the launch team or not of True Strength, please help us raise money for the initiatives that I set forth for the Impact Foundation so we can give back. By buying the book or a bundle of books, which we will have bundles, whether you buy one or you buy 10 or you buy 100 for your company or your team or whoever it may be, this book is going to help change the world. Literally, it's going to help change the world. And I'm so excited for that. So those are my big asks for True Strength. And now what I want to do is this. You have all the information you need for True Strength. What I want to do is this. As I've been so immersed and deep with True Strength, and it's in its final phases now as we do our final edits and doing all it's got to look good as well. So we're doing that. And in just a matter of weeks, I'll let you know of the exact day it's coming out and when you can purchase the book itself, which will be here again in mid-May. Late May, you should be able to purchase the book as well. But what I want to do today was this. I wanted to share the good news about True Strength and how excited I've been. And I want to share 5 ways, regardless of what project you're working on, what big goals, dreams, and visions you have, 5 ways that you can get huge momentum in your life right now. People are always asking me, hey, TD, how do you get done all that you get done? I want to share that now because perhaps it provides value to you today in one way or 2 ways or all 5 ways. So number 1 of 5 ways how you get more done and more momentum in your life. Number 1, let me preface it with this. If you're in a valley right now, keep going and don't give up. If you're in a valley right now, don't give up and keep going. Keep going deep. Don't give up. Let me repeat. Keep going. Surround yourself with people who are going to lift you up, who are going to help you get out of the hole, out of the abyss, out of the valley. And what I've found, and I'll share in True Strength, is this: your circle becomes much smaller when you're in pain. And that's okay. It's okay. But when you're in a valley, make sure you have people in that valley with you that can help you get out of that valley. Number two, if you got something going on physically or mentally, get medical attention. See a doctor, see a psychiatrist. Heck, I'm going to share in this whole 3.5 year process during True Strength, I saw 7 doctors, 3 naturopathic doctors, and countless practitioners during this time. Heck, everything from Eldoa to Agoscu to Reiki to traditional treatments. But when I say you got to quarterback your own health, you must quarterback your own health with the right medical team. And in today's day, it's going to take some effort by you to make sure you have the right team on your team. You got to do the work. And heck, that might even mean a mental health expert or a psychiatrist or a counselor. But please get help. And I'm going to share all. When I say it's a memoir, when I shall share that it's a tell-all book, True Strength is that. But I want to really encourage you that if you're in a hole today, make sure you have the right team around you. Heck, if you're not in a hole and you're at the crest of the wave, have the right team around you. I share this in the book, but I was days away from seeing Dr. Amen for a 2-day brain scan evaluation for fear of CTE before I found the problem and started to come out of the abyss of what I'll just call a deep, deep valley. Why is that important? Because it's all about energy. You must have the energy to give what's inside of you. You got to quarterback that. So when I say, well, how does that help, get momentum in your life, is because if you don't have energy, you can't think straight. If you're cloudy, if your brain or your mind is cloudy, or you're not thinking right, or you're full of anger or resentment or hate, you can't operate at your best. And for 3.5 years, I fought to do everything that I've always preached. And fortunately, I was able to pull myself out of it, and I share how. Number 3, as far as getting more momentum in your life, is do what you do best and hire the rest. I've said this is about 2003. Do what you do best and hire the rest. And heck, maybe you want to write a book someday, but you're not a good writer, or you don't have time to write. Maybe you want to have someone else write your book. Then maybe you got to hire someone to write your book, or maybe you're so busy you're going to have someone collaborate with you on that. Maybe you want to hire a marketing person for your project because you hate to market, or you're not a good marketer. Then maybe you need to hire that person. Or heck, even a PR person or company, because you're like, hey, Todd, I hate PR, or I'm not good at PR, or I don't have a following. Then maybe you're going to want to invest in someone like that, or a company like that, to assist you, get you to where you want to go based on how big your dreams and vision is. Maybe you need an assistant or a project coordinator. For example, for this book, I need help from someone to put together my book tour that I want to make this fall. My vision, and it's not clear quite yet, is I want to be on tour from Labor Day, or shall I say Labor Day, from Labor Day to Thanksgiving. I want to be all over the country on the Impact True Strength bus, and I want to be delivering some serious impact. Kind of like a music concert would be on tour. I want the Impact Tour, the True Strength Tour, where we're showing up for a book signing. We're definitely doing an impact workout. We've got socials, and it's going to be the true full impact tour. But I don't know how to put all that together. Like, how do we form a music tour and go all over the country? And I'm getting on a bus and going to wherever it's going to be, from Maine to Florida to Washington to San Diego. And I'm smiling thinking about it, because I need help. I don't know how it's all going to get done, but it's a vision. And maybe you know somebody, then hit me up. Like, TD, that's me. Or I would love to help with that tour. It's a vision. Why? Because if we're going to hit 100 million people, 100 million people, not 10, and you're part of that impact that's going to be created, I need you to step into your best game, whatever your mission is, whatever your crusade is, whatever your vision is, to say, we're doing it. But it's going to require each of us to step into that. And what I've learned over 20-something years, especially the last 3.5, is you got to do what you do best and hire the rest. I'm going to show up and I'm going to speak and we're going to have workouts and sign, but I'm not the best logistical person. I don't like red tape, but I'll follow the sequence. And for you, where can you hire someone in your world? Where are your stop gaps that are preventing you from taking the next step? Well, let's step into that today. Number 4, and it goes along with number 3, do what you do best and hire the rest. Number 4 is this: rise tides and level people up. We want to rise the tide. We want a rising tide. I always say the bigger your dream, the more important your team. Well, how do you raise people up? How do you up-level your own team? Or how do you hire people onto your team? You can outsource them, no doubt. Or you can just start lifting more people up who are on your team of 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 or 50, whatever it is. And I find this right now. I'm finding, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm finding a lot of people are in a rut. They're stuck. Can I get an amen, anyone? I know not you. I mean, maybe it is you, but there's people who are stuck. For 3.5 years, I was stuck. I was in a rut. I was creating and searching more than ever before because I was in pain. And fortunately or unfortunately, why is it that when we're in pain, sometimes we do some of the deepest soul searching when we're in pain? But I find a lot of people right now are in a rut and they're stuck doing the same thing over and over and over again. Yes, they may be getting a paycheck, but sometimes, many times, there's not as much fulfillment or joy from their professional endeavors that they wish. And I think, what a shame. Like, how do you shake things up? Not good for them, not good for you to have any dead weight that's sitting around. So how do we raise people up into an ecosystem that is full of more passion and purpose and vibrance and energy and goodness, right? How do we do that? It's good to have new dreams and visions, or to step up into a deeper purpose, to rally around a meaningful mission. Like, that's all part of it. Rising tides and level people up. I think of even in the last 6 months since I've been on fire, since True Strength, I've been working on this, and I shared the 3 big announcements with the Impact Summit. And then, the book True Strength, and I'll announce number 3, which is completely separate from True Strength. That it's all been fueled because of these things. But on my TDE team this year alone, we've had some huge changes and evolutions as my energy came back in the fall of 2023, which I share in True Strength of Why, and my vision started going deeper in December. I knew it was time for some moves. So here's what I did. This is like business talk now, and I'm sharing as if you're on my team. I elevated Kelly Watson from a coach as one of my TD mastermind teams to the director of all of coaching, overseeing the mastermind, overseeing our Todd Durkin Impact Life Coaching certification, like overseeing our Impact X coaching. These are non-fit pros, people who want life coaching. And she became the director of all of our coaching programs. I elevated Lisa Berman into a platinum level coach. Heck, Lisa's been the longest standing mastermind member at 16 years. Guys, at 17 years old. She's been with me for 16 years. She stepped into a great, great role. I also consolidated 4 of my platinum level teams into 3 teams so we could have even more collaboration and energy. I find that collaboration and community is huge these days. So I took 4 of my teams and made them into 3. I took Tom Dexter, who I've known for 35 years, and he became the coach of my second team of Impact X Coaching. And as I shared, Impact X Coaching, this is my life coaching program that I started about a year and a half ago, and it's been growing ever since. And I needed even more help. And Tom Dexter, someone who I've been coaching through that Impact X Team 1, he wanted to go deeper in the coaching world. So I elevated him to work with Kelly Watson on this. So all of these things are rising tides. Who on your team can you elevate? And even recently with the announcement here of True Strength coming out, I said to myself, man, like we've got to do even more. So I elevated my guy Chase Mitchell, and I'm like, I gotta really elevate Chase's role within marketing as we have some big things popping. And with announcement number 3 coming in just a few weeks, and that'll be in a podcast coming up, you'll hear the team is growing. And we're trying to really say, all right, world, in a time that so desperately needs light. It needs light. All right, team, who's going to light it up with me? Because we're going and we're going to light this world up. Heck, here in May, we're bringing a PR team on to help me with some of these initiatives with the book and some of the other initiatives coming on. Like, I've never worked with a PR person or agent, but like, hey, our team is darn good, but we need help. So when I say rising tides and level people up, I believe the investment in people and the investment in some of the people we're bringing on are going to pay off and hopefully 10x the movement. But it's people like you and me that every day are living that life. So I want you to think about your change. Like, where can you up level your people? It's necessary right now for that evolution. And it's also change is cyclical. Wayne Cotton used to tell me that you need to change every 7 years. You need to recreate yourself. Well, I'm not sure if you've reinvented yourself since March of 2020, but 2024 might be a good year for you to do that, or at least start working on it if you haven't already. I don't think we can wait 7 years any longer to recreate. I think we're recreating every 3 to 4 years. There's an evolution. There's big things changing, right? So my last point, number 5 for today, is this. To be even bigger, you got to make big moves. To be even bigger, if you want to grow your impact, you want to grow your influence, you want to grow your income, you got to make big moves. So let me just ask you a few questions. What moves are you wanting to make? What do you want to create? Ask yourself the question, what do you want to create? And what deeply inspires you? What is really pulling at your heart and your soul to say, man, I need to step into this? Or who is inspiring you to live at a level that's challenging you to live and play at your very best? Spend more time with him or her. Who is that man or woman who is inspiring you to play at a higher level? Listen to him or her more. Go deeper with him or her. Get on a mission. Get on that crusade of whatever they're after. And be real. Be real. Answer this question. What's holding you back? What's holding you back? What do you need to overcome that? When I talk about true strength, I share what was holding me back for 3.5 years. And sometimes it's mental blocks. Sometimes it's mindset. Sometimes it's physical as well. Because as you know, the physical and the mental go hand in hand. And when I talk about true strength, that's what it's all about. So when you answer those questions, like what's holding you back and what moves are you wanting to make and what do you want to create and what is inspiring you and who is inspiring you and what's holding you, all these things, and what do you need to do to overcome them? Answer those questions and make the moves that need to be made. There you have it, my friends. True strength. True strength. And I encourage you, I invite you to buckle up. You're going to hear more over the next few months, but I want you to buckle up and invite you to be part of the True Strength launch team. You don't have to be someone that has some massive following or massive social media reach, as I shared. Get on the team. You just need to have the desire to work a bit closer with me and my team in late May and June and July. There's no cost again to be part of it, because truth be told is I just finished the book just a few weeks ago, and I took a few days off before going back to it. I sat down on Saturday as I record this just a few days ago, and I read the entire book from cover to cover all in one day. And my wife, Melanie, she did the same thing. And in many, many ways, it was hard to look back at life from 2020 to May of 2023. I cried 11 times reading it again. And it's my story. I cried 11 times. I'm the guy who wrote it. Melanie cried. My point is this. I know we have something special here, and I can't wait to share it with you and for you to read it. Why? To inspire you to go to your deepest self. And if you're in the valley today, don't worry. It's coming soon. This motivational book, this depth, this memoir is going to help you. But just remember, the crest of the wave determines the depth of the valley, and the depth of the valley determines the crest of the wave. And in just a moment, when you hang on here, I'm going to read. I'm going to literally read for you for the first time a few minutes of my prelude and just a few minutes of my introduction. And when you hear that, I promise you, you're going to know what true strength is all about, and you're going to be as excited as I am to read True Strength. Until next time, remember, train hard, eat right, live inspired, create impact, and get ready for some true strength. Prelude. What the heck is true strength? In 2010, when I was blindsided by those two words from a glass fishbowl overlooking New York City, I couldn't tell you. But now I can, because I found it, I forged it, I fostered my true strength. Not by choice, but by design. In the valleys, at my lowest of lows. The valleys are what equipped me to write this book and empowered me to finally share true strength with you some 15 years later. Because it was in the valleys that I found new compassion, empathy, and understanding. I'm now older, wiser, and while decades past my prime physically, at 53 years young, I've never felt stronger. I've never been more lit up for life. I've never been more prepared, more excited for the next crest, for the best that's yet to come. And I'd be living a lie, the very definition of a hypocrite, if I only coached you from the crests rather than the valleys. If I only shared the highlights and not the lowlights. So before we go on, a quick warning. This book is far different than any of my others. It's a purposeful confessional, a tell-all to ensure my suffering was of service. You're about to step behind the curtain and see behind the scenes that so often goes unseen. You're about to hear my inner dialogue, and it may be jarring. So it's going to sound quite different than what you're used to. I'm about to uncover secrets I've never shared as I chronicle what I've privately referred to as a half-decade of hell publicly for the first time. And you're about to learn a lot more about me and hopefully you as well. My stomach is in knots. I'm nervous, a bit scared, vulnerable. Yeah, vulnerable. I'm feeling more vulnerable than ever before. But in my heart of hearts, I know this will benefit me. Sharing my pain, my trauma, my valleys, my scars will be therapeutic, cathartic. It will allow me to grieve for the greater good. After all, we grieve by remembering, don't we? And perhaps more importantly, I know from experience that what I'm about to share will benefit you, the reader. Because though this book is far different, far deeper than my past entries as an author, I know of the incredible impact a book can make. For example, Adam Ferrari was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer at just 32 years old. I didn't know Adam, nor how he got his hands on it. But in some serendipitous twist of fate, Adam stumbled upon it at a hospital out east on the complete other side of the country from me. My first book, The Impact Body Plan. And get this, Adam didn't just read Impact. He completed his own anti-cancer version of the 10-week Impact workout protocol while in treatment. Adam exercised in the hospital hallways and stairwells, mustering up as much strength and stamina as he could between taxing rounds of chemotherapy while blasting the Rocky soundtrack to give himself an added boost of motivation to keep fighting, to go another round. I only know this because Adam wrote to me, crediting that book, my book, for keeping him alive. Meanwhile, another stranger in another country was facing a different beast. Tyler Ansey was shackled in the mind prison of PTSD. Anxiety, depression, and addiction were Tyler's norm. These feelings were so dark, so intense, that the Canadian cop didn't just down up to 18 pills a day. Tyler took steps to take his own life on more than one occasion. The first with his service weapon, the second with a belt wrapped around his neck, just after his 7-year-old son, Cooper, had been picked up by his mother. Soon after, Tyler sent this note to me. Though we've never met, no one has inspired me, impacted me, or instilled more confidence in me than you. There have been 2 moments in my life where I did not think I'd see the next day, and I will no longer allow myself to reach that space again. Mr. Durkin, Todd, please know that your videos, your wows, your dose of Durkins, your books, and most importantly, the sound of your voice inspiring others has been the greatest support that I've found outside of my mental health professionals. You've been a huge part of giving my son, Cooper, his father back. And for this, I love you as a brother. I love you too, Tyler. Like I've told him, he's why I do what I do, and he's thriving today. It's amazing how sometimes you don't know when and where you're going to have an impact on someone. Adam and Tyler are just a few of many examples. It's stories like these, like theirs, that motivate me to keep serving, keep sharing, keep writing. Some stories are shared in public, others kept in private. Some I hear in the trenches of Fitness Quest 10, others in passing. Some are just as extreme. I've been told my words, my books have helped people survive abuse, addiction, diagnosis, divorce, financial ruin, personal ruin, and more. And not just survive and keep going, but just as Adam and Tyler did, even thrive in the aftermath of these things. Others are far less extreme. Maybe my words have given you the motivation or inspiration to work out, shed some weight, hug a loved one a smidge tighter or a second longer, pursue a goal, dream bigger, eat better, or even share your story with the world or your world. Maybe my words have guided you out of a rut, got you unstuck, or helped you reclaim your missing mojo. Or maybe they've just given you hope, a friend, or a confidant when you've needed things the most. Maybe some of my mantras now live in your head, making you more positive, more grateful, even more present, and even more excited than you were before. Humbly, any impact means the world to me, and I hope true strength brings more of the same and introduces more that's different. Because ironically, I didn't find my true strength through my previous entries as an author, nor will you. Forget the impact body plan. My body was broken, literally. That word broken is scribbled inside my brown leather-bound journal, my tear-stained diary from the half-decade previously. Dozens of times. Every time I wrote, I'm broken, guess what? I was. Get your mind right? As you'll see in just a second, that was harder for me than ever before. Heck, I'm the guy who came out with the Get Your Mind Right book in June of 2020, in the depths of despair of the pandemic. And by the time my book was published, it was written in 2018 and 2019. My mind was anything but right. My inner dialogue is perhaps the scariest to share of all. After all, I'm the Get Your Mind Right guy. And my mind was all wrong. New York Times bestselling author John Gordon said, Todd could motivate a rat into a mousetrap. But what happens when I'm the one trapped? And the Wow book, the one filled with what I call soul fuel, it might as well have been written by someone else. The soul had been sucked out of me like I'd been face to face with a Dementor from my youngest son's favorite series, Harry Potter. I've never felt more empty or more lost or more defeated or more betrayed or more burnt out or more depressed or more lost or more confused or more hurt or more hollow than I did from 2020 all the way to 2023. How about you? Maybe you've been derailed by a diagnosis, or maybe someone you love has. Maybe you have your own pain or you're feeling theirs. Maybe a devastating injury has taken hold of you, or a divorce, a split, a life-altering change of some kind is crippling you now. Maybe it's a career change. Maybe you're in the midst of a midlife crisis, seeking change. Maybe you're stuck in a rut, feeling like you can't catch a break, or facing another kind of crisis. your own head prison of sorts. Maybe you're feeling lost, alone, confused, uncertain, overwhelmed, unfulfilled, or maybe you're searching, stirring, stewing. Perhaps you're fried, frustrated, fearful, fatigued, exhausted, empty, or burnt out. I've been there. And I hope my vulnerability in the following pages is of tremendous value to you. I hope this book gives you understanding, empathy, solace, inspiration, compassion, connection, healing, comfort, resilience, and so much more when you need it the most. This book is designed to help you see the sun through the clouds, the forest through the trees, give you hope to help you cope. I hope reading these words brings you relief and healing and grieving and so much more. Whatever valley you're facing or valley you are faced with, my hope is this book will be all of that and then some for you. That through these pages, you will find, forge, and foster the true strength, your true strength, to climb back up to your feet. And that this book will be like the Sherpa that ushers you out of the valley and upwards to your next crest. My intention is to share the bad and the ugly to propel you through the bad and the ugly as well. My hope is after reading cover to cover that you, the reader, refer to this book as a lifeline, a saving grace, or even a lifesaver. Maybe you're searching for something more, something different, or something greater in life. I believe this book could be your guiding light, illuminating your path to exactly that. Maybe you're reading purely for pleasure. Oh, yeah, you'll get that too, but why not benefit from it? This could be the key that unlocks an unexpected aha moment, turning point, or breakthrough for you. And if this book fell into your lap, well, I believe that nothing is by coincidence. After all, a coincidence is nothing more than a miracle where God wants to remain anonymous. Keep going, keep reading. If you uncover just one golden nugget from this, it will be worth it. And I anticipate you'll cover and uncover way more than that. Everyone has something that's universal. We all face setbacks, tough times, valleys. The following pages reveal mine, as well as the ways I made progress so you can do the same. The following is truly a tell-all experience, surfacing untold chapters of my story from a half decade of hell, and more importantly, the hard-won lessons from my most trying and turbulent times. Some 15 years after turning down this exact title, True Strength, here we are. Here I am in a serendipitous twist of fate, following my most twisted, turbulent times, showing you how to find, forge, and foster your true strength and make the absolute most of it so no valley is too low. As you turn the page, I look forward to impacting the world and your world through true strength. Are you ready? I hope so. Here we go. Intro. They say the lower you go, the higher you can go. But how much lower could I go? At perhaps my lowest, I was crumpled in the fetal position on a cold, hard hotel room floor in Mexico, begging, pleading my wife Melanie, between the wet streams of tears running down the face, to hit the streets in an effort to score me some body-numbing, over-the-counter drugs. Picture a 50-year-old God-fearing father of 3 begging his wife of 20 years to hunt down pills like a junkie negotiating with a dealer. That was me. Maybe I could get my hands on some Vicodin or Percocet or Tramadol, something stronger than the 1,500 milligrams of ibuprofen because it was no longer cutting through the pain. After all, I was in Mexico and you could get prescription narcotics over the counter. Then, in a brief moment of clarity, rocking in excruciating pain, clutching my knees for dear life, my forehead pinned to them, my right side pressed on that unforgiving floor, I thought to myself, if only they knew. If only you knew. Now you will. Buckle up, my friend. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Hey guys, I just mentioned that my book launch for True Strength is coming out, and I'm so excited. Thank you for all the feedback. For those of you who have already signed up for the book launch team, thank you for being part of it. We had a great feedback and turnout for that. But we still have time. The book launch team is forming from now until May 15th. If you'd like to be part of the book launch team, and I would love for you to be part of that, hop over to todddurkin.com and be part of the book launch team. You're going to get early access to True Strength, and I can't wait for the book. It is going to change thousands of lives, hopefully including yours. And it's a 3.5-year tell-all memoir that I'm so excited to share. If you'd like to be on the inside and see all the benefits and value that I'll be delivering for the next several months for you on the book launch team, simply hop over to todddurkin.com. You can go to the link tree as well in my Instagram and check it all out for the True Strength book launch team. I'll see you on the inside.